Okay guys, so today I'm going to tell you what vloggers are not telling you about the Philippines. And I want to preface this with the fact that I've lived in the Philippines for about 2 years. I have a beautiful Filipina I've been with for a long time, and I do love the Philippines. But I'm not one of those bullshit channels that's just going to tell you it's all up, 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 and this is just Beverly Hills with a bow tie, and that everything's perfect and you get to live here for, $200 to $600 a month. It's just not the case. So right off the top, I'm going to tell you the humidity can be absolutely backbreaking. I don't hear a lot of vloggers stressing this like I have in previous videos, and I will in this one. The humidity, even at the beach or whatever, can be absolutely brutal. If you're a heavy guy, you're a sweaty guy, I always suggest a discovery trip before you commit to the Philippines, and realize that the humidity has you changing your shirt 5 times a day, showering 5 times a day, whatever the case may be. Some people sweat more than others. Some people are in tip-top shape. Some people are younger than others. Some people are more tolerant of humidity, but this is definitely American humidity on steroids. I lived in Vegas. It's 120 degrees, but it ain't humid. It's a dry heat. It's a bit different. Even at a beach like this, Boracay, one of the #1 islands in the world, the humidity can be brutal. Most people walk around with no shirt or in what's called a sando or tank top. So humidity off top, discovery trip just for the humidity alone. Number 2, brownouts, or what would be referred to in America as a blackout. If you don't live in Manila in a tip-top building, or Cebu in a tip-top building with a generator, or just an area that's super infrastructured up like those 2 places, you will experience brownouts and scheduled brownouts in places like Dumaguete that are very popular with all the YouTubers out there and stuff. Brownouts can be a thing, My place in Boracay, we have a generator, but then even the generator went out one time. Or you can wake up and have not flipped on your generator, and the aircon's been out for hours and hours and hours. So if you're looking for a perfect place, obviously in America we don't really experience those unless there's like, a guy crashes into an electrical pole or something, or there's some strange freak of nature type thing. At least in the places I lived in, Vegas, LA, stuff like that, we just don't have those. Maybe in Alabama, I don't know, maybe in Kentucky, but yeah, so in America, we don't experience a ton of brownouts, and that's just something that you will certainly experience. Outside of BGC, IT Park, Makati, most places, you don't really feel a ton of that, but brownouts are a thing. And if you're a guy that doesn't have his candles or his lantern ready or ready to sweat it out a bit, no Wi-Fi during that time, cell signal can be a bit spotty, but yeah, brownouts is definitely number 2. Number 3, customer service. The customer service here is less than stellar. Now, there's certain businesses that have it down great, but a lot of times you'll go to a restaurant and you'll kind of have to get their attention, even if it's a high-end one, to have them take your order. Not a ton of tipping happening here, so that's probably taking away from their motivation to give you like a 5-star, taking your order before you even sit down type thing. I've noticed that even at like fancy resorts in El Nido and places in Boracay and stuff, or full tourist heavy places. But just in general, the customer service, you go to return an item, likely not. I mean, just different things that would be easy in America, or you want to call a manager and this and that. Don't call a manager. It's just not, it's probably not happening like in a lot of situations, or just different situations with like Globe. I'd go to pay my bill, and then, or you cancel your service, then they didn't cancel it, or PLDT. You just have little things. It's nothing too crazy, but the customer service is certainly not America level. Mega World properties. I was moving out of a Mega World property, and they wanted me to somehow show them receipts that I had paid my water bill every month. And I'm like, you should have that in your back system. You're selling condos for literally $1 million American dollars, some of them, $250,000 for like the cheapest one at like Park Suites or One Uptown Residences and stuff. And they didn't have any reference of that. They wanted me to go through, 9 months of text messages with my girlfriend, who's the one who pays it through her Philippine bank account, going through all the pictures of us and stuff, try to pull up screenshots to prove to them, when obviously if I didn't pay my water bill, the bill would have kept updating with a balance, etc. It would have been shut off. But just odd little things like that, even with big companies or places like BGC that should be on America level since they charge America price. So that's it. Now, number 4, skin tax. If you allow it, people might skin tax you on stuff, as in they pull up on a scooter. The ride's 50 pesos, that's the fair price certainly, and they'll say 100. They figure you got money, this isn't really the end of the world. You have the opposite option to say no. A trike will pull up. I've had them say, 300 pesos for a 50 peso ride. I mean, I've lived in Boracay, I know this, but Could have been my girlfriend, could have been they didn't like my face, whatever the case. Then another trike pulled up behind him and he told the trike behind him to make it 300, knowing damn well it's a 50 peso ride a couple blocks in Boracay on the highway. So that's not a thrilling experience. But if you just say no and keep your cool, don't be a tough guy, don't be an asshole, you're on a tourist visa, they're trying to make a living, they're trying to hustle you a bit, you'll get through it. It's not really the end of the world. So number 5 is going to be foreigner expectations. A lot of times there are different expectations for foreigners than there is for Filipino boyfriends. That's just the reality of life. You do not make the rules, and foreigners are perceived as rich. Perhaps it could have been an older foreigner they had before. Perhaps they had an insecure boyfriend, or perhaps they had a very rich boyfriend that was splashing cash, or they were watching TikTok, or they were watching Facebook and they saw the girl with the 15-carat ring, or the girl with the big mansion, or the girl with the boyfriend that rented an apartment, gave the parents an allowance, did the scooter, did every little thing. And they expect that if that doesn't work out with that guy, that if they get with another foreigner rather than going with a local, that you will be picking up where he left off. So that can be a tough one if you don't get a girl that you're her first foreigner, or her first foreigner was a bit curry pot or just a conservative spender. So curry pot stands for cheap Charlie, whatever, you know, you'll hear it around here. It's kind of funny. But number 6 is going to be family influence. You're going to get a lot of family influence when you are dating a Filipina. If a Filipina is not a breadwinner and the head of household and a big time earner, she's going to take her family's consideration on everything. If she's living with her family, if her family is supporting her financially, if she's not a big earner, she's not a breadwinner, she's not a boss babe, you may be vetoed by the family if you are not willing to provide support to the entire family. You are not willing to do certain things, whether that be building a house or giving them $100 a month. Family influence is a thing. In America, you know, a 30-year-old broad, 40-year-old broad, her parents would have no say-so in anything whatsoever. She might not have even talked to them in a while. She might not have lived with them in 22 years. But in the Philippines, girl can be well into her 30s and her mom and dad are making decisions for her because she is not, you know, earning $150,000 a month or paying for everything. Now the girls that are big earners, there's many of them, OFWs and girls that have made it, work for American companies, operations manager, probably going to be going in her 30s or early 40s. They will be willing to veto their parents if they like you enough. They are the breadwinner. He or she who has the gold makes the rules. Just the way life works in any country, in any situation. But that is something that people don't always talk about, all of these things. And then the last one is going to be healthcare. If you are in the province, the healthcare is less than stellar. There are hospitals in Manila that have good reputations, but you know, results may vary, and you certainly want to be on the paid side of those hospitals. Healthcare can be less than stellar. If you're in America and you're having a health issue, address said health issue before you head to the Philippines would be my advice to you, as somebody that knows a lot about this and has lived here for 2 years and knows people that have been through things, even at some of the best hospitals. You certainly need to be on the paid side. And if you're already in America, address everything before you hop on that airplane. It'll save you some hassle. You know, there's good and bad everywhere. And, you know, when I get dental stuff done, I don't get it done here in the province of Boracay. I get it done in BGC, Makati, places like that. As far as going to the doctor, I haven't really needed to. But at the end of the day, you're gonna want to handle your stuff in the West, or if you have a big emergency that's not a heart attack, you can take a 13-hour flight to Los Angeles and get some of the best medical care in the world. If you have a heart attack, you need to deal with what's here. In the province, that probably is not gonna be an excellent situation. In Manila, Cebu, you might be okay. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, never had a medical emergency here, but I know a lot of people and I have a lot of stuff that, you know, I'm not gonna elaborate on, but just handle your stuff in the West if you can. If you have a situation that's not an immediate emergency, I would always suggest flying to the West. People can disagree with me on this in the comment section, but I've been here 2 years. My Filipina's lived here her whole life. We have personal experience with this stuff that I will not elaborate on. Want to, you know, go double back to, I love this country. I'll be staying in this country. There is so much good that outweighs this, but I must be honest with you and tell you the things that most scared regular vloggers will not tell you. This is the greatest country. These are the best women. This is one of the most beautiful beaches I'm walking on, but there are some drawbacks to living places for $300, $400, $500, $600 a month, even in BGC. It's just the way it is. Like, comment, subscribe. I go live every day around 9 or 10 a.m. Drop a video premiere at 9 a.m. I do consultations, Jasperinthephilippines@gmail.com, and sana all.